Hello everyone. Are you dissatisfied with your sketchbooks? Do your sketchbooks suck? Excuse my French, because mine do, at least compared to the sketchbook tours I see on YouTube and Instagram. I don't think they're aesthetically pleasing. I don't like how some pieces turn out, and so I don't know what I'm doing wrong and what others are doing right. What do I do to fix this problem and like my sketchbooks? I'm Fiona Di Pinto and welcome to my channel Drawings in a Drawer, and today I'm working on a study of a piece by Dante Gabriele Rossetti for my Learning from the Masters series, which will be over on Patreon, so this is just a study for that tutorial. If you want to join my Patreon and see all the tutorials, you'll find a link in the description down below, and that is $5, €5 a month upwards to get all these tutorials. But now let's talk about working in your sketchbook, and especially if you are a watercolor painter. I've always loved the idea of having a really nice sketchbook, and as I said, I've binged watched all the flip throughs on YouTube and I absolutely love them, and I am impressed with what these artists come up with. But I've never been able to achieve that kind of thing myself, and it seems almost impossible for me to be able to achieve that look without gessoing over countless pages, gluing some of them together, sticking pieces of an older painting or a better painting on top of one that didn't turn out well, and literally spending 12 hours a day doing nothing but for something like a year at least. That is my view of trying to create one of those perfect sketchbooks. It's like a job, like literally like a full-time job. That is how I see it. Tackling a painting like Lady Lilith by Dante Gabriele Rossetti, like you see me do here, seemed like such a huge challenge that I thought I better do a study of it in my sketchbook before I attempted doing the tutorial and filming it. So once again I am back to my sketchbook. So now I have two, one where I will be painting animals and roses, flowers, and one where I will be painting portraits. But this is not the first time. I have so many sketchbooks. I have been painting in so many sketchbooks over the years, and I always end up giving up on them because they don't look good. I don't like flipping through them. I don't like revisiting them. I work in my sketchbook. I draw directly onto the paper, and you can see all the countless marks that are left by attempting to erase mistakes. You never really see these in these perfect sketchbook tours that you see on YouTube, and that's just one thing, the first thing at the top of my list that puts me off looking through my work after it's finished. It's like the whole sketchbook becomes a work of art. It's not just one piece that needs to turn out well, that you need to be happy with, but it's dozens and dozens of pieces. And of course, you never see these mistakes in the perfect sketchbook tours that you see online, and it's impossible not to get that performance anxiety and not to get that imposter syndrome. This piece, for example, I was really excited about it. I had this idea in my head and I thought I knew how it was going to turn out. And not only did I not like it, but the masking tape ripped the paper. So it was a disaster. I tried to cover it up with an older piece of mine that I actually quite liked. But again, I had that feeling where I just wanted to give up because I was on painting number 2 in this specific sketchbook and I didn't like it. I felt like I wasn't living up to my expectations. So before I switch back to my Dante Gabriele Rossetti painting that I was doing earlier, let's have a look at my sketchbooks, what they look like really. I mean, this was one of my first attempts at a gouache sky. And I'm zooming in for you. I mean, you can see I'm not like exaggerating things. It does not look good. I wouldn't really be showing this on camera. And here I'm quite satisfied with the seashell that I painted at the beach. And then I have this kind of really unfinished, very sketchy sketch. This page, well, the spread, I don't even really know what to say about it. Here I tried to gesso over a portrait I did with alcohol markers. I didn't like the portrait and the alcohol markers bled through to the other side. It was a complete disaster. And here I was attempting to paint fur. I don't think you need to add anything else. Here I was attempting to paint water. I'm not saying these are bad. They're studies. Not aesthetically pleasing, they're just, studies. And I never got round to finishing the ones on the other side. And here I did something very quick. I actually quite like this, especially the background. And out of this whole moleskin sketchbook, this is probably my favourite spread. But it is what it is, and I think I like it because there's a lot going on. That's it. And also this one is okay-ish. So, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying, that these are probably the best pages. Here's another one. Here's another attempt at gouache. So, I'm definitely not good at gouache, but I don't know. I'm not going to give up on the sketchbook all the same. But yeah, these are what my sketchbooks look like. And I don't think that it could be any other way, actually. I quite like this one, sketched live. And yeah, this kind of thing. This is unfinished. Of course, I was planning on doing something in there. And yeah, I have the leaf here, that's okay. But yeah, this is what my sketchbooks look like, to be honest. I have something else here. Yeah, I really do not like the spread at all. And let's look at another watercolour sketchbook. I start pieces, I don't like them, so I just don't finish them. I thought this would look cool. It didn't, so I gave up on it. And here I'm actually looking through an older sketchbook. This was when I first started out with watercolour. So I'm a little bit more forgiving when it comes to being, giving judgment, passing judgment on this, of course. But none of them look like what I wanted them to look like, basically. And here, this is a more mixed media kind of thing. I like this Beatles sketch thing with quotes. It's very distant, very far from the kind of art I'm doing now. So just for the sake of showing stuff that's newer and stuff that's older, this is what my sketchbooks are like. I keep convincing myself that I'll be able to create something that will be like flicking through the pages of an illustrated fairy tale book, but I never managed to create that, and I'm disappointed and I give up. But then I always end up moving on to a new sketchbook and leaving the old one unfinished. I went on quite a ramble there. I almost forgot what the whole point of this video was. I do still want to work in sketchbooks, but I don't want to hate them. So what can I do? I have to remind myself that the point of a sketchbook is not to be perfect. It's for practice. It's not an art gallery show like social media seems to want us to believe. It's to make progress, and as others have said, it's better to make bad art than to not make art at all. There's also another thing, though I really don't like flipping through my sketchbooks mostly. If you step away from them for a while, when you go back to them, you will have developed a fondness for them, for your art journey, for who you were when you created them, and sometimes also for the memories they'll bring back to you. And you'll still cherish these imperfect creations of yours. So don't give up on your sketchbook practice. Don't. If there's something that you really don't like, just put something else over it. Just cover it with gesso or white acrylic and start again. And something that I learned from my own mistake is don't keep getting a new sketchbook to start over because you don't like the one you've been working in and you think you've ruined it. Just accept what you've done up till now with the one you have and keep going. As I said, you will end up developing a fondness for it in time. Having said all this, I think I can call it a day with this video. I hope it was helpful for some of you, and if it was, please leave a comment down below. As I said, if you would like to take the Learning from the Masters series, it's on my Patreon, and I will be doing this piece, Lady Lilith by Dante Gabriel Rossetti, and talking about the pre-Raphaelites over there. So otherwise, I will see you next time on YouTube, and thank you for being with me. Bye for now.